Welcome to the informational video about preparing for a library materials reconsideration. Visit NEKLS.org's online learning page to view links to the resources mentioned in today's video. In this video, you will learn about the material, service, and programming challenges the library may encounter, be introduced to resources for navigating the formal reconsideration process, and receive tips for developing an action plan so the library is prepared. I'm Dan Alexander, Northeast Kansas Library System Continuing Education Consultant, and I'll be your guide. Material can be challenged because it was considered to be sexually explicit, contained offensive language, or was unsuited to any age group. Often school libraries face scrutiny when materials are viewed as inappropriate for grade level and age. Probably not surprising, in 2019, the American Library Association recorded that one-half of reported challenges to items in the library's collection had come from parents. In these situations, emotions may run high, yet it is important that the challengers feel that they have been heard. The library needs policies and procedures in place to deal with these challenges to materials, and also challenges to library services like meeting rooms, programming, perhaps a polarizing performer, computer and internet use or access, like filtering, and over privacy concerns, any of the personal identifiable information we have discussed in other modules on intellectual freedom. Speaking of intellectual freedom, the ALA Office for Intellectual Freedom provides confidential support during censorship challenges to library materials, services, and programs. We will cover the personal support the Office of Intellectual Freedom can provide through the reconsideration process in the next few minutes. But first, let's look at these definitions. A challenge is an attempt to remove access or to restrict based on objections by a person or a group. Banning is the removal of materials, so a challenge is not merely an expression of a point of view, it is an active attempt to remove access and is a restriction to others. The change of access to materials, be it complete exclusion or a restriction, is a form of censorship. All of this falls under one of the 12 core values of librarianship, intellectual freedom. We firmly believe that every individual, adult, or child has the right to seek and receive information without restriction from all points of view. We believe that this unfettered access to all ideas provide free access to fully explore all questions, causes, and movements. By visiting ala.org/tools/challenge support, you will find resources and tips regarding when you should contact the OIF for assistance, steps to responding to challenges, auditing your library's policies and procedures, templates for requests for reconsideration, guidelines for the reconsideration committee to follow, suggestions on holding a challenge hearing, rules of thumb for media inquiries, and also what the library can do if the reconsideration process has been undermined. Strong policies guide and protect the library. In the event that someone has initiated the reconsideration process, the Library and Reconsideration Committee will look to the collection development policy, and more specifically, the selection policy, for guidance as to whether the challenge materials support the library's mission. The time to review policies is now, not once a challenge has been filed. A good place to start is with the Selection Policy Toolkit. The Library Bill of Rights should govern the practices of libraries. The interpretations that have been adopted by the ALA regarding intellectual freedom can be found at the link provided here. As I showed you today, the ALA has built an amazing amount of resources to aid the public, school, and academic library in the event they face a challenge to the collection, but it can be applied to other challenges like those to service or programs just as well. The regional library system, along with your peers in our region, are your local resources for getting direct assistance with your policies and procedures. On NEKLS.org, under the Resources menu, you will find a link to a list for items in our professional collection related to intellectual freedom. The 10th edition of the Intellectual Freedom Manual is an indispensable resource for writing policy, onboarding new staff or trustees, or as a handbook on how to deal with challenges and controversies the library might face. Our system director, Mike McDonald, has highlighted for you some policies your library might want to use as a template or guide. These are from Mesa, Nashville, and Wichita Public Libraries. You can visit the library's websites and scan through all of their policies, or go to NEKLS.org's online learning page under Information Literacy to get the direct links. If you can't answer the 4 questions listed here, it is probably time to begin the review of the collection development policy. Ensure that you have a packet prepared that you will send out in the event of a challenge. Know that those first interactions and reactions that you and your frontline staff have during the initial inquiries or expressions of concern are critical, so be prepared for them. This video just scratches the surface of the reconsideration process. As stated before, the regional library system can help you along the way. Our members are always encouraged to reach out to us for support. I hope that if you have made it this far in the video, it has been of use to you. If you have other topics you wish to explore in these short videos or in a longer format, please reach out to me at dalexander@nekls.org. Thanks for listening.